There's a lot of talk about family coming up in my world. A lot of people that I'm talking to are going to see family, family's coming to visit. I don't know if it's because we're approaching the holiday season and it's really just coming up a lot more. However, so many people in my life are having family gatherings, and with family gatherings come a time for you to check in with your light. Family gatherings can bring up all kinds of feelings, and I want to let you know that it is okay to feel all the feelings that even the thought of getting together with family brings up. I want you to really tap into your light and how it shows up and how it's reflected around your family members. This might be a difficult conversation, so perhaps for today we'll just sort of scratch the surface, and then as we get closer to the holidays, we'll go deeper and deeper into it. But be aware of how your light changes around different people. I personally am very aware of how my light can drastically change depending who I'm around. I notice that around many different members of my family, my light can even vary between them. So there are some members of my family that I feel completely comfortable to be myself around, and then other members of the family who I notice I dim my light around. This took me a while to fully understand and to really accept, and it wasn't so easy to notice until I really started to check in with myself. So that's why I invite you to check in with yourself. Ideally, before you meet with these family members, notice what happens inside of your body when the thought of meeting with these family members come up. Notice what happens inside of your body before you're going there. Do you feel excited? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel nervous? Does it stress you out? Are you worried? Like, tap into how you feel before you go and see these people. That's the best advice I can give you, is to tap in first, because what might happen is you get around these people and you kind of lose yourself and your emotional intelligence might drop. Nothing to shame, nothing to think is bad. It just might happen that you can become so triggered by certain people that your emotional intelligence drops and you become very reactive. Perhaps you say things that you don't want to say, and you're just not really in that awareness state. You can be much more in that awareness stage before you physically enter into those interactions with your family members. An approach that I've used, and I'm not saying it's the best, but it works for me, is more of a silent treatment, and people can view that as bad, but it's like this less is more, saying less versus saying more. I allow myself to become an observer in these situations, to take in what's happening in my environment, become more of a reflector of what is happening versus shooting things out of my mouth without conscious awareness. So I've gone from, say, being more reactive in family environments to being more of a silent observer. Perhaps that's a better term. Becoming the silent observer versus just being very reactionary. I think this helps, again, to bring you back to your own awareness and how you're feeling in those moments. You just really pause and listen into what's happening versus always feeling like you need to interject. For me, it's very important to clear my energy after I've been around certain family members. So I have a shop full of tools for you that you can use to clear your energy. You can use Palo Santo sticks. I have many candles that can remind you of your power. Each one has a different affirmation depending on how you want to feel. Like, I have one for welcoming yourself back home, and this is beautiful to remind you to come back into your body, to leave everything that wasn't yours at your family's home or someone else's home, and to bring your energy back. I also have some beautiful healing crystals to help ground you and just clear that energy that is no longer serving you. Thanks for watching. I know this can be a touchy subject, but let me know in the comments if you like having these tough conversations, and I plan to do more of them as we get closer to the holidays, so hopefully you stick around.